When life feels heavy, when the days blend into nights without answers, and when the heart quietly aches for a shift, there is often something greater preparing itself beneath the surface. A miracle is not always thunder and lightning. Sometimes it begins in silence, in whispers, in the spaces where hope dares to breathe again. What feels like emptiness today may actually be the soil where the extraordinary is taking root. The question is not whether the miracle will come, but whether you will be ready to recognize it when it arrives. When the seasons of life shift, they rarely do so with gentleness. Often before the miracle arrives, the air grows heavy, the nights stretch longer, and the weight you carry feels almost too much to bear. It is in these very moments that something sacred is forming. The struggle, the pressure, the exhaustion. It is not a sign that you are abandoned, but that you are being prepared. Just as the soil must be broken before the seed can sprout, your spirit often endures breaking so it may rise into something far greater than before. Think about how the darkest part of the night comes just before the dawn. It is not accidental. Nature follows rhythms, and so does your life. When you find yourself wondering why the burden has increased, why everything seems to resist your efforts, it may be because you are standing on the edge of change. The heaviness you feel is not punishment, it is labor. Something within you is birthing, stretching, and aligning with what is destined to come. The miracle has already begun. It only appears in the language of struggle at first. Pain is a teacher disguised in sharp edges. Pressure is a companion wearing the face of resistance. Together, they are carving away the unnecessary layers of who you once were, making space for the version of you that will carry the miracle ahead. If life always stayed light and comfortable, nothing new would be born. The very weight that feels unbearable is shaping you, sharpening you, and ensuring that when the gift arrives, you are strong enough to hold it. Consider the process of gold being refined. It cannot shine without fire. The fire is harsh, it consumes, it burns away impurities, but only then does the brilliance emerge. Your current struggle is that fire. What feels like destruction is in truth purification. The miracle needs a vessel prepared to receive it, and life is using your challenges as the refining flame to prepare you. It is natural to ask, why does it have to be this hard? Yet the truth is, every story of transformation carries within it a chapter of difficulty. Every breakthrough has its breaking point. What feels unbearable is often the sign that you are closest to the shift. Just as muscles tear in order to grow stronger, your spirit expands through the stretching of adversity. The miracle you long for cannot be separated from this process. It is not against you. It is guiding you closer to what was meant for you all along. When life feels its heaviest, remind yourself that you are not collapsing. You are being expanded. The weight is not crushing you, it is shaping you. The miracle has not forgotten you. It is simply arriving in the only way it knows how, through the press of life, through the stretching of the soul, through the heat of transformation. And when it finally breaks through, the heaviness you once carried will become the proof that you were being prepared all along. There are moments when life redirects you, when doors that once swung wide suddenly close, when opportunities you thought were certain slip quietly from your grasp. At first it feels like loss. You question the timing, you question your worth, you question whether you have been forgotten. But what seems like a denial is often divine redirection. When God removes something from your path, it is not to harm you, but to protect you from what your eyes cannot yet see. The obstacle that frustrates you may be the very shield guarding you from deeper pain, from distractions that would have delayed your growth, from paths that would have led you astray. Think of a child reaching for fire. They believe the flame is beautiful, harmless, even inviting. But a parent intervenes, pulling the child's hand away, perhaps even causing tears of protest. The child sees loss, yet the parent knows it is protection. In the same way, there are things you have cried over losing, things you have begged to keep, and paths you desperately wanted to walk. But unseen to you was the danger that awaited if you had been allowed to continue. What feels like rejection is often the highest form of love, a careful hand steering you toward what will give life, not take it. This redirection is not always gentle. Sometimes it shakes your foundation. Friendships you thought would last forever dissolve. Careers you built your identity upon crumble. Dreams you nurtured slip through your fingers. The pain is sharp because you poured your heart into these places, believing they were your future. Yet consider this. If the path you were on was too small for the greatness within you, would you not need to be shifted away from it? The very collapse you mourn may be the release required to make space for what is truly meant for you. A tree does not resist when the seasons change, leaves fall, branches are stripped bare, and the cold wind cuts deep. Yet without this letting go, spring could not arrive and fruit could not return. In the same way, when parts of your life are stripped away, it is not proof of abandonment, it is the season changing. You are being asked to let go of what no longer serves your growth so that something greater can take its place. The loss is not permanent, it is the preparation of space. When you look back on your life, you will see that some of the greatest blessings came not from what was gained, but from what was taken away. Had you stayed where you once longed to remain, you would not have discovered the strength, the wisdom, or the opportunities that awaited beyond that closed door. The detour you resisted will be revealed as the path you needed. Life is not about clinging to what falls apart, but about trusting that the dismantling is making way for something you cannot yet imagine. It is easy to believe in miracles when everything goes smoothly. It takes deeper faith to believe when everything is breaking, but it is in these broken moments that miracles are born. God does not withhold what belongs to you, He withholds what would harm you or hold you back. The redirection you feel now is not the end of your story. It is the turning of a page. Though it feels unfamiliar, though it feels uncertain, this is the shaping of your destiny. The path you once thought was right was only a step toward the one you were truly created to walk. There are times when silence surrounds you, when prayers seem to rise but no answers descend, when the heavens feel closed and your heart questions whether your voice is even heard. It is in these seasons that the soul grows restless because we are taught to expect instant responses, quick resolutions, clear signs. Yet when God is preparing to move powerfully in your life, the first sign is often the silence. It is not emptiness, but preparation. The delay is not denial, but a space where faith is tested and refined. Just as a seed must remain hidden beneath the soil before it breaks through to the light, so too must your heart endure the unseen stage before transformation bursts forth. This silence is a training ground. In the absence of immediate answers, you are invited to listen more deeply, not with your ears, but with your spirit. The quiet compels you to lean inward, to separate your desires from what is truly meant for you, to distinguish the noise of the world from the whisper of eternity. What feels like waiting is in truth a strengthening, a stretching of patience, a reminder that timing is sacred. A door opened too early may harm you, a blessing delivered too soon may overwhelm you. Just as fruit picked before its season is bitter, the miracle must ripen before it is placed in your hands. Imagine a sculptor standing before raw stone. From the outside, the hammer strikes seem harsh, even destructive, but each strike is deliberate, each removal of stone revealing the form hidden within. The silence of God works in this same way. You may not see progress, you may even feel diminished, but something is being shaped within you. You are being prepared not just to receive change, but to sustain it. For a miracle is not only about what arrives, it is also about who you must become in order to hold it. In these quiet moments, doubts may grow louder. Fear may try to convince you that you have been forgotten. But the truth is, the silence itself is proof that something greater is forming. Storms do not announce themselves until the clouds finally break. The womb carries life silently before the child takes its first breath. The soil cradles roots long before the flower blooms. So too is your life in this stage of hidden preparation. The silence is sacred. It is the cocoon before the wings unfold. Many abandon hope in these times because they confuse waiting with absence. But waiting is presence in its most powerful form. It means the process is alive. Do not mistake stillness for inactivity. The universe is rearranging itself for your growth. Situations are shifting, opportunities are aligning, hearts are being moved, all beyond the sight of your eyes. What you call a delay may be the perfect synchronization of countless threads being woven together to create the tapestry of your destiny. It is in the silence that you learn surrender, not surrender as defeat, but surrender as trust, to release your grip on outcomes, to rest in the assurance that even when you cannot trace the hand of God, you can trust the heart of God. This is the depth of faith, not merely to believe when you see, but to keep walking when all you have is the unseen promise that something is coming. When your soul feels heavy with unanswered prayers, remember that silence does not mean absence. It means preparation. You are being readied for what your heart has longed for in ways you cannot yet imagine. And when the silence breaks, it will not be with a whisper. It will be with a miracle so undeniable that you will understand why the wait was necessary. There are moments in life when everything you knew begins to fall apart. The path that once felt clear suddenly becomes blocked. Doors you thought were meant for you close, and opportunities slip from your grasp. At first glance, it feels like loss, like rejection, like the universe has turned its back on you. But what if the very obstacles you are facing are not punishments, but protection? What if the path you thought was meant for you would have led you into harm, and the block you now face is in truth the hand of God redirecting your steps? A miracle often begins not with something being given, but with something being removed. We hold on tightly to what we think we need, whether it is a job, a relationship, or a plan that once made sense. Yet sometimes the very thing we cling to is the weight that prevents us from rising. Just as a tree must shed its leaves in order to prepare for new growth, you too must let go of what no longer serves your journey. The loss you feel now is simply clearing space for something greater to enter. And though the emptiness may hurt, it is the sacred ground where new blessings will be planted. Think of a traveler who walks into a forest with confidence, certain of the direction. He follows a path only to find it blocked by fallen trees. Frustration grows because the journey seemed so sure, but what he does not realize is that just beyond those trees lies a cliff, hidden and dangerous. The obstacle is not there to destroy him, but to save him. So it is in your life. When God shifts you away from a path, it is not cruelty, it is care. The closed door is an invisible shield, a barrier placed between you and what could have broken you. We often confuse comfort with destiny. Just because something feels familiar does not mean it is right for you. Just because a road seems smooth does not mean it leads where you are meant to go. The divine shift often comes wrapped in discomfort, because growth always requires leaving behind what is safe. To move into a new season, the old must be released. The soil must be broken for seeds to be planted, and the shell must crack for life to emerge. What looks like breaking is often the beginning of becoming. In these moments of redirection, trust becomes essential. Trust that what is leaving your life is not meant to diminish you, but to refine you. Trust that the emptiness you feel now is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a chapter so much greater than you have imagined. Just as the ocean must pull back before it can bring in a stronger wave, so too must life pull away certain things before it can bring forth the abundance destined for you. A miracle is not only about sudden gain, it is also about divine subtraction. It is the wisdom of the unseen that removes what will not serve your future, even when you do not yet understand why. The relationships that fall apart, the opportunities that dissolve, the doors that lock, these are not signs of failure, but signs of guidance. Something is being orchestrated beyond what you can see, and one day, when the new path opens before you, you will look back and realize the blocks were blessings, the delays were protection, and the losses were the fertile soil for the miracle that was waiting to bloom in your life. When we speak of miracles, we often imagine sudden bursts of light, dramatic turns of fate, or extraordinary blessings falling from the sky. Yet one of the most overlooked truths about miracles is that they are not always loud, nor do they always announce themselves in the way we expect. Many times, a miracle enters quietly, disguised as an ordinary moment, as a subtle shift, as a whisper of peace in the midst of chaos. To recognize it requires trust, patience, and a heart that is willing to see beyond appearances. Life has a rhythm, and that rhythm is not controlled by our impatience or our demands. Just as the seasons cannot be rushed, neither can the unfolding of divine timing. A miracle often ripens in silence, like fruit slowly gathering sweetness in the warmth of the sun. From the outside, nothing seems to be changing, but beneath the surface, everything is aligning. The delay you are experiencing is not denial, it is preparation. You are being refined, shaped, and strengthened to hold the very blessing you are waiting for. For what use is a miracle if you are not ready to carry its weight? Think of rain. Long before it falls, the sky grows heavy with clouds, the air shifts, and the earth anticipates what is to come. You may not yet see the downpour, but every element is gathering in harmony for its arrival. This is how miracles work. You may not notice the countless ways life is shifting on your behalf, but a greater plan is in motion. What feels like silence is not absence. It is the quiet choreography of the unseen preparing something far beyond what you have asked for. There is a reason faith is so deeply tied to patience. Faith is the ability to walk without proof, to believe in a door that has not yet opened, to rest in the certainty that what is meant for you will not pass you by. A miracle is not only about what you receive, it is about who you become while you wait. The waiting refines your spirit, deepens your gratitude, and awakens your capacity to see blessings even in small things. Without this transformation, even the greatest miracle can feel empty, for the heart unprepared to receive will never recognize the value of what is given. The truth is, miracles rarely arrive according to human timelines. They arrive according to divine ones. You may think you are ready now, but wisdom knows otherwise. The delays are not there to harm you. They are there to strengthen you. The people who leave your life, the opportunities that dissolve, the challenges that test you, all of them are shaping you into the vessel that can hold what is coming. For a miracle is not only about receiving something new, it is about becoming someone new. Consider this: a seed cannot bloom on the day it is planted. It must go through the darkness of the soil, the stretching of its roots, the breaking of its shell. Only after enduring this hidden process can it rise toward the light. If you are in a season where it feels like nothing is moving, perhaps you are like that seed, buried unseen, yet being prepared for growth that will astonish you. The stillness is not the end. It is the beginning of something greater than you can imagine. So when you find yourself waiting, when it feels as though the miracle is taking too long, remember that the silence is sacred. Trust that the pieces are aligning, trust that you are being prepared, and trust that when the moment arrives, it will come with a force and beauty that will make every second of waiting worth it. For the miracle is not delayed, it is simply arriving at the perfect time. Every moment of your life, whether filled with joy or shadowed by struggle, is part of a divine pattern carefully woven for you. The very delays you questioned, the losses you mourned, and the seasons of silence you endured were never wasted. They were shaping you, preparing you, and carving space within you for what was always meant to arrive. A miracle does not come to those who rush, but to those who trust. It finds the heart that remains open in uncertainty, the spirit that continues to hope when nothing makes sense, and the soul that believes even in the absence of proof. When it comes, it will not just change your circumstances, it will change you. It will awaken in you the realization that nothing you went through was in vain, that every step had meaning, and that every tear watered the soil of what is now ready to bloom. You may not recognize the exact hour or the exact way, but when it unfolds, it will arrive with a clarity that leaves no doubt. This was meant for you. This was the moment everything was leading toward. So lift your eyes from the weight of what has been and turn them toward the horizon of what is coming. A miracle is not far away. It is already moving toward you quietly, faithfully, with perfect timing. All that is asked of you is to remain present, remain willing, and remain trusting. For when it finally reveals itself, you will understand that the waiting, the silence, and even the pain were all part of the sacred path that led you here.